Hello and welcome along to Mondo Chelloveck Movies. My name is John and this video is going to be what I picked up in Newcastle this morning. But first I've got a couple of unboxings for you. So yesterday I received two items in the post and I'm going to unbox them now. So first up I received this from Joe Borg and we've been talking over Messenger. Nurse Scalpel, thank you. And I've got to be careful with this, just make sure I don't get too deep into it actually. So in this package Joe has sent me now, actually I was thinking Thunderbirds. I do like Thunderbirds, believe it or not. Now inside here it is Bonnie Scotland, German language, Lauren Hardy. Now this is, we're talking about the fact of Bonnie Scotland not being easy to get on disc, and it's not released in that set that I got on the Blu Ray, which I'd love it to be, because it's a really good movie, and also it looks very good. The one I've got that I taped off VHS on TV looked excellent. They did speak the language properly on their videos, which is crazy to see. And it's quite funny because what they had, the co-stars they had, were actual German or Spanish or French actresses or actors. So they've got different, actually the same sets, but the fact is that they've got different people doing it, and that was quite strange. I think that happened quite a lot in the 30s. I'll be interested to see what this German version looks like, so thanks once again to Joe Borg. So next up I got a package from Stephen Pratt. Now Stephen got in touch with me and said he would like to send me something, and it's just, honestly, it's brilliant when someone does that. To just, out of the blue, someone just says, can I send you something? So Stephen said that he sent this from Rare Waves, so I'm interested to see what this is from, because Rare Waves is a company in America. So Stephen has sent me it's a Blue Underground. Now this film is called Anguish, a Biggest Luna film, and I can see straight away that this stars the woman out of Poltergeist, the medium, and also Michael Lerner. Michael Lerner is a great actor. I've seen a lot of great films. I'll read you out the blurb and see what it says. The eyes of the city are mine. After being hypnotized by his bizarre mother, a man goes on a brutal killing spree, complete with telepathic commands from Mom to carve the eyeballs from his victims. But just when you think you've seen it all, comes the most shocking twist imaginable. Wow. So Blue Underground always do an incredible release. You can be sure of that. Now this movie is from 1987, it's 88 minutes. Obviously Michael Lerner was in Barton Fink and Maniac Cop 2. And Zelda Rubinstein was in Poltergeist and Southland Tales. So this is region 1 lock, doesn't matter because I've got my region 3 player. So yes, so I'll tell you what I think of the print on this, and I'll give you a little bit of a heads up on what the flavour I'm getting from this movie. So I want to thank Stephen Pratt once again for thinking of me and sending me this movie that I've never heard of, but that's a very interesting movie. It's great to find these movies when you get sent movies, you've got no idea what they are, but you're very intrigued by them because of like what you read and all that. And this story sounds quite bizarre and quite good. So once again, thanks Stephen, and I'll tell you what this is like when I come back from my trip to Newcastle. So thanks once again to Stephen Pratt. Cheers, mate. First I checked out Bonnie Scotland. Now Bonnie Scotland is one of Lauren Hardy's first feature-length movies from 1935. It's a great movie. It's one of the ones that you don't see very often. So I checked this one out, and it is in German language and only plays in German language. So it is a bit of a strange one because actually there's no subtitles, and also it's like dubbed. It's not actually Lauren Hardy doing it. So we'll put this on and let it play because it's quite strange to see Lauren Hardy dubbed into German. So once again, thanks to Joe Borg for that. So next I tried Anguish. Now I put this on my 4K player, so it is region free because I played on there, even though it says region 1 on the back. It's definitely region free disc. So as always, Blue Underground do a great job with their releases. The picture quality on here looks great, and also it's got a 5.1 surround sound on here, so they never seem to just put out a regular bog standard release and don't really do anything with it. Every release they've got does seem to have something about it, especially sound and picture quality. The sound they always have great sound on their movies, so we're really excited to see this because it's a really strange movie in essence when I'm reading about it. So also Zelda Rubinstein, she sounds exactly like she does in Poltergeist. She's got that southern twang, and I'm really interested to see this one because it's got a strange premise, and I'm all about that. So thanks once again to Stephen Pratt for sending this to me. Thanks, Steve. So this morning, me and the devs went to Newcastle, and I went to CEX and HMV, and also somewhere else, which you'll see in a minute. And firstly, in CEX, I got for 50 pence, I got Alan Partridge, Partridge. Now, the reason why I got this one is because I always thought I had this one, but I hadn't got it. And another reason is because I've got a slip for it. Now, I want to thank my good friend Michael Hewitt for sending me this slip. Now, this movie, I love this movie, especially, I don't know why this scene really stands out to me. I mean, a lot of scenes stand out for me in this movie. But the first scenes when they're playing the music to Coin Scatzi behind and the soundtrack, I just think it's so great because I thought, wow, it's Coin Scatzi or Philip Glass who was doing the music. So I can't wait to see this one again. It's been a long time since I watched this one, and I like all the stuff to do with Alan Partridge. I thought, what? I haven't got all his stuff. I think my son's got most of his stuff. But anything he puts on the TV, I've got to watch it. Big fan of this character. So that's Partridge. Next up is a movie that I've probably seen in every Poundland and every CEX in the town. So the reason why I picked this up is because I got a movie the other day. There was a trailer in for this film. And I wasn't paying too much attention to it until the trailer sort of went on a bit. And usually I fast forward the trailers. But because the picture quality on the trailer was that good, I thought, right, I'm going to see what this is. And it turned out to be this movie. And I thought, well, I know I can get it in CEX because every time you go to CEX, it's always there. And for £1, I got Need for Speed. Now, I have been quite interested in this movie in the past because I'm a big fan of this actor here, although I can't remember his name. He's called Aaron Paul. And he was in Breaking Bad. I thought he played a great part in that. Now, I thought myself, this looks that good. And I do like these type of movies with fast cars and, you know, just people just driving around like lunatics. I think it's great. And I get a blast out of that. And for £1, I thought I'm going to pick it up. Now I'm going to check it out and see if I have checked all these movies out. I'll tell you what the quality is like on them. I thought, well, I'm going to put it on, see what it's like, and just see if this trailer was just something that might have been the trailer, might have looked good, and it didn't really look good when I put it on. So when I put this on, I've got to say this is one of the best looking Blu-rays I've ever seen, hands down. Now you may think, oh well, how can it be? I don't know how it can be. I would imagine it's a cheap sort of like throwaway movie in essence, but the picture quality in here, if you didn't know, this looked like a 4K. And the dark scenes in here, the blacks, the colours, everything in here is just absolutely unreal. Now, if you're looking for something that's, I think the movie might be quite decent. It might be one of those movies that you think, well, it's all right for an hour, and I think it's about 2 hours actually. But the picture quality on here, you've got to see it to believe it. It's like, it was one of those ones, I knew when I saw the trailer, I thought, I'm going to have to check this movie out. And if you get it, it'll be £1. And you'll be blown away by this if you're a fan of this type of movies, then they look good as well. So really happy to get that and really happy to watch that. And I think the devs is for watching this. So that's a very highly recommended on picture quality, Need for Speed. So next up in CX is a movie that I've looked at a lot of times in HMV and never quite picked it up. It's always been in the sale, but I thought, oh, it's got a nice slipcover. I will get it in the sale one day, but just never got around to it. But for £6 I saw with a slipcover and the booklet, A Ghost Waits. Now this movie here, it's got a reversible art and it has got the booklet in here, which is great. So I knew for £6 I had to get it. Now the slipcover on here is one of those nice slipcovers. I think they're called a soft touch slipcover. So when you get them, they've got that sort of, it's got some great spot glossing on here, but it's also got that kind of weird sort of feeling as if it's like wet ink, if that's something, or I don't know, it's got like kind of a really sort of strange feel to it. And I was really worried in case the stickers were going to do some damage in here, but they didn't, thank God. I didn't use any lighter fuel on it because they came off great. Now this is a black and white movie from 2020. Now I didn't expect that, but I don't mind. I love new black and white movies, and this one actually was crystal clear and crystal sharp. So I thought, yeah, I think I will. And it's an English one as well. I thought it was a foreign movie, but it's not. It's by a fella called. It's directed by Adam Stovall, and yeah, so it's a ghost story, and it did look quite creepy in essence, but this is one I've only just flicked through these movies, but the picture quality was, like I say, it was really nice. So quite eager to check this one out. That's A Ghost Waits. So as we were going down to HMV, we passed by the EE shop. Now my phone was coming up for renewal, and so was the Debs, so I thought we'll go in there and just see what we can get. And then about half an hour later, we came out with these two. Now the Debs and me do share the same sort of phone. We get a Samsung S series, And this is the Debs. She's got the one with this teal sort of back on it. Now I've got one with black on it. There was a one that was red, but when the red came out, it wasn't like a pillar box red. It was kind of like burgundy red, which I wasn't too keen on. So what I'll probably do is I'll unbox these on a video. And if you want to see that video, I'll probably put it on the end of somewhere. So let us know in the comments if you actually want to see me getting into these phones and seeing what they're like. I'll probably just open them and show you what's in the pack. So that's our new phones. You see?
Is it right?
No. Oh, it's got to be. I can't be the other one. The other one's ridiculous. Look at that. Uppercase, lowercase, right turn, left. So I had a few things I wanted to pick up in HMV. So the first thing I picked up was All Deceased Except the Dead. Now this is the Italian Classics Collection range. Now, as you can see there, they go from, I've talked about this before, you've got all your slipcovers there, and then they go to the big box ones there, then you have a sort of rogue slipcover there, then they go back to the big boxes. Now unfortunately, they're going back to these slipcovers again. I'm not too sure why this is. Now, if you get a look at this, the slip, it's number 75 from 1977. There's your reversible art there. And you also get a booklet in here. And the booklet looks quite nice, actually. In fact, this bloke here is a dead ringer for Inspector Clouseau, is he not? And the only thing I'll say about this release is, and obviously the cover as well, it feels very much inferior quality to the rest of the stuff that I've got from this line. I must admit, even that one there didn't feel that sort of like low quality. This one actually does feel like it's got a bit of a low quality to it, which is a little bit of a shame. Anyway, I don't know anything more about it than the fact is that this is another, like all of these movies, I've got to say, I have a great time in them all. I just would like to know why they're doing sort of the big ones, the smaller ones, the thinner ones. But in a way, all right, it felt a bit of a cheaper release, but it was only $14.99 instead of $24.99 or £20. So they kept the money down a bit on this release. Now, the only thing that I thought when I put this on, it looked a bit like an Inspector Clouseau film because of this fella. He's just a spitting image of Inspector Clouseau. But what it says on the back is more like an Agatha Christie mystery crime thing. So it could fit in the sort of like sleuth thing of like Inspector Clouseau. It does look a bit like a comedy, although it doesn't say comedy on the back of here. It doesn't say a giallo. It's just kind of like a murder mystery suspense film. Never heard of it, but also as well, it's only in Italian language with subtitles. There is no English dub on here. If you're a fan of English dub and you don't want to see Italian like language, this is Italian language only, which is a strange one because I don't think many of them do that. You always get the English cut, probably can't get it. So there's the stuff that's on there. The movie itself, it looks pretty good actually. It's got a very nice print to it, and some of the colours in here are really spectacular. So yeah, bit of a strange one. I don't know why they're going a little bit on the lower quality. There's more about that coming up. But if it is what it is, it still looks good. Don't get us wrong. It's just when you handle it, you feel like this is just not as good as the other ones were, especially that one, which is a slipcover. And all these slipcover ones I always feel dusted a little bit. Maybe they've got soft touch slips. But anyway, maybe it's just the way the world's going at the minute. So yeah, so that's quite interesting in that one because of the whole fact of how it looks. It doesn't look like your regular one that you get in this series, although it might not be a comedy at all. It just comes across a bit like that. So that's All Deceased Except the Dead. So next I picked up Scary Tales. Now this is from 1993. You get a bonus movie on here called Darker Soul from 1994, which is the sequel to this movie. And I put it on, as I always do. Now these movies, I love this range. As you can see, I've got them all there. I love them. I think they're never going to be great quality, but I don't mind because I just get such a blast for them. Now, I put this one on, and it is what it is. Whatever quality you get, it is what it is. But wow, there's ultra low budget. There's ultra low budget. Then there's this one. I think that this one might be the cheapest one I've ever seen on this range. It's definitely off a videotape. And does it say a 4K master? It doesn't. But it says, notice, this movie is shot on VHS and edited on tape. Please approach the technical quality of the transfer with empathy. They do that on a few of the ones. As soon as you see that, you know you're in for a rough ride. But it is what it is. If you like these movies, you like these sort of really weird, hard to get movies that nobody's ever heard of, including me. I urge you to get them. If you know what it is, if you watched one of these, if you bought one of these, you didn't know anything about it, just saw the cover, so it's a great cover, you would be kind of really disappointed by it, because you're getting something that's looks like it was made literally for pennies on a shoestring budget, and that's even a shoestring budget with no shoelaces in. Wow. But it looks entertaining, and that's all I want to be on these movies. I don't want to be anything else, bar I know that these movies all follow this sort of pathway of being really kind of awful, but there's something about it that I find quite charming as well. So yeah, I will always get this range, as you know, and this is another one added to the collection, and it'll go up there with the rest of them. So that's Scary Tales. So also get a load of this one. I picked up The Dirty Dolls and Things to Come, Smut Without Smut, Volume 1. Wow. Now, this one doesn't have a reversible art, actually. It's just got the same cover. And yeah, so on the back here, I don't know if that'll make it out. It tells you what you've got there. And this says it comes from the new 2K preservations from the only known 35mm print in existence. Well, so I put these on, and also what you get is, I think they're from 1976 and 1973. I don't know which one's which. And you do get the versions if you want to. You can watch them without the smut or uncut. So it's up to yourself. And I don't know what the difference in the running time is for these two movies. I would imagine there's maybe 10 minutes cut out of each one, I think. So that the quality on Things to Come was quite good, actually. It wasn't too bad, but bearing in mind these are very low budget. These are real grindhouse classics, if you want to call it that way. Never heard of them at all. So yes, we got a double bill here, two movies, The Dirty Dolls and Things to Come. And yes, they are interesting, shall we say. But they're in this range. I will collect all of this range. I just think that they've got so much variety in here, and it's great to see some company releasing just these low budget movies without any apologies and just saying, this is it, come and get it if you want to. And I just think there's just something about these releases that just speaks to us. The covers are great. What they're picking up is great. The fact that you probably haven't heard of any of these movies is great. I think in all of this range, I think I've only ever heard of She Freak. It's bizarre. So yes, so yeah, it's got a few things that probably wouldn't be for everybody in here, but yeah, they are what they are, shall we say. So that's The Dirty Dolls and Things to Come. So lastly, I picked up the first 4K that 88 Films have ever released. I picked up Drive. Now, I've seen this movie. I've got this movie actually on DVD, so I can compare the two of them together. Now, this one comes with a poster, which I've took out here, so I can show you. The poster is a poster of the cover. And it's quite a good poster. It's quite thick quality. It's not a bad bit of artwork, that. I think it's that could look good put up somewhere in, like, say, somebody's man cave. And this was $24.99, which is fair enough. It's not a bad price to pay for a 4K, a brand new 4K, and it's got a slip box. The slip box is fairly rigid. It's not ultra rigid. It's one of the ones that can fold out, which I don't really care for. I prefer the ones that are like a bit of a hard box. Although I like the cover. It's not something that would look terrible on the shelves. It's just one of those things where you think $24.99. And also you get the 4K there. Now that's a good cover, actually. It's not the original cover. You have got reversible art here, and the reversible art is this cover here, which I've never seen before. If I can get my hand on it, there you go. So that's a reversible cover, and it's all right, but it's not the one I would care for. This other one here that I've chosen is better. So for $24.99, I think you get something that's a little bit more premium for me. Now, this is a great movie, and what I've done is I've looked at the Blu Ray. Obviously, I've looked at 4K. You only get the 4K in here as well, which is another one you think, well, you don't even get the Blu Ray in here. And I don't know, I'm a little bit disappointed by what you don't get in here. It just feels a little bit underwhelming, especially with it being their first ever 4K. You think we'll go all bells and whistles on it and just make you interested in the 4K medium that they're on. So anyway, I checked it out with this one. This has got the director's cut on, and also it's got a shorter cut on, which this one doesn't have. This is the director's cut only. So you get the full version on here, but you only get the full version and the shorter version on here. I'll put that thing up there if you can see it. The sound on here is Dolby Atmos, and it sounds absolutely amazing. The sound on the DVD is 5.1, it sounds good, but this sounds incredible. So the sound quality is a big thumbs up for me. The picture quality is good. It's really good. I was expecting a little bit more, if I'm honest. Now, I might be greedy on that, because this one, it looks pretty good. And the DVD looks alright. I want to thank John Hall for gifting me this one here. This is in my son's collection. And it's a great movie, and he enjoys this movie. So this movie here, I was expecting, I don't know what I was expecting. I thought it was a strange movie for them to pick for their first ever 4K. It's not a one that anybody really knows about. But it's a great movie. If you're thinking about getting this one, think of it, it's like a buddy cop movie. You've got this fella here, it's a bit like a sort of Eddie Murphy character. You've got this fella here who's kind of like a supercharged kung fu expert. And you've got Brittany Murphy there as well, which is, it's a bit of a shame that, you know, what happened to her. She had a tragic sort of end to her life. Great actress as well, and she's great in this movie. Big shame about her. So the movie itself is by far the best it's ever looked. It does look pretty stunning, if I'm honest. I just thought it could have been a little bit better. But it's got some great set pieces in here, and it's got some great like action stuff. The bad guys are absolutely brilliant. It's so funny. It's got a lot of comedy in this movie as well. It's got some great action martial arts in here. It's got a lot of things going for it. It's a great like fun-packed movie. I do, like I say, I'm just going to go on a little bit the fact that I just expected just a touch more when it came to the actual picture quality. But it's much better than the DVD. I've got to say, it's much better. I haven't got the Blu Ray because obviously there's no Blu Ray in here, so I can't compare it. But I would imagine the Blu Ray will quite nice. But the best part of this is obviously HDR. The colours in here this car here looks absolutely incredible. So you're in for a treat with this movie. If you didn't know anything about it, you would think it was probably a good movie. I just thought I was going to get a little bit more, I don't know, just a little bit more to it. But then again, when I did watch it, I've only watched bits and pieces of it. I did sort of think this is really nice, but I don't know. Maybe I'm a bit let down by the package as well. But yeah, it's just a bit of a minor quibble. It's just a shame that it could have been a little bit more premiere for me. That's just my opinion anyway. So thanks once again to Joe Borg and Stephen Pratt. Would you like to see an unboxing of this phone as well? So thanks for watching. You take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.